I suppose with Enniscorthy, the town in the southeast of Ireland where so many of the novels are set, and that coast about 10 miles away, just very small stretch of coast. The reason I use it so much is so almost simple. I wish it was metaphysical or sacred or to do with the soul or something, but I don't have anywhere else. If you said, why don't you set a novel in Carlow, which is a bigger town, to the north, or Wicklow or Waterford, as opposed to Enniscorthy? I don't know which way the streets go. I wouldn't be able to give you the name. I wouldn't know what pub was there. I wouldn't know. And therefore, this is simple. I know it. But it's not as simple as that then, because I want an anchor. I want somewhere I can actually work from. In the novel about Thomas Mann, in the novel about Henry James, I had a lot of information, I had a lot of things to anchor. Letters, diaries, biographies. And then with the Enniscorthy books, I have an actual, locus, but not just that, an anchor, meaning no matter what I do, I can have the person turn into the market square. And once I do that, I know exactly, what corner they're on, and that gives me a better way of anchoring the fictional character in a sort of space that suggests it's real. Yeah, I suppose it's also, maybe it's a way somehow of resisting the notion of Ireland, that I would use very particular places without any reference to the nation, the state, or the wider island. In other words, it's not Ireland I'm writing about. It's very specifically one town in County Wexford, in the southeast corner of Ireland, sometimes a visit to Wexford town, which is 10 miles south, and then 10 miles to the coast, a very small stretch of the coast. That is where I'm from. The wider idea is puzzling sometimes, and it also gets in the way sometimes if you ever started thinking, oh, Ireland. Ireland is a problem. I built a house. I really went in search of exactly the right spot, which I got through an extraordinary stroke of luck. And the going there at certain times of the year, like Christmas, the end of August, the long walk on my own, for miles and miles. And of course, as you walk on that beach, you know that you have to walk back. And the swim at the end of August. There are all sorts of rituals associated with it, but mainly there's always a jokey part of it. This is not, you can't just be solemn about the idea of a place that is a place of the soul. It's fine, but it doesn't really work. It's just not entirely true. There's a moment as I walk down from the house I built towards the Strand. I have to go down the cliff. But as I go by a house, now I don't do this every time, and I prefer if there's someone with me, where I point at a window to the right as I'm going down, and I say, and it's true, in the room where that window is the room where I was conceived. Now that's a lovely idea, isn't it? It's a comic idea almost. That's not where I was born, but it's where the other thing happened. And the idea of the two of them there that summer, end of summer, and I smiled to myself, but not in affection or nostalgia, just at the comic business of it, of going back, wanting to go back to the place where all that happened and pass it regularly and but I don't think about it every time I pass, because that would be too much, I think.